Tazz. Set online status to cloying. The floodgates were pretty much open already. Being on incognizable is pretty much like being on cloying. So you might as well invite the rest of the crowd to start going wild. Your Scorp theme is Hogan's Heroes. You really wish you could scrub off all these dirty watermarks and replace them with somebody who isn't a pious, ego-gargling sellout. Speaking of, Tazz, go downstairs. Tazz, examine bar. On the bar, you see 2 unopened bottles of pinfall fuel and a nice-looking meat slab cooked just the way you like it, raw. You can't take a moment to settle in for a nice meal right now, though, as you have to lay the smackdown on a loudly blaring in-group heresy. There you are. Tazz, berate Hulk Hogan. Look at you, you filthy, degenerate piece of mat scum. You've given yourself up and the rest of the world onlooking is putting you down. Your locomotive trend of others treading by your heel is as unctuous as the al dente grain worms you put onto the masses. You will fall, and if you're not tossed by the harshly gripping and unceremonious hand of the 2 above, then you yourself will relay a clean finish to the slate of this world and the next. The go-away heat just keeps getting hotter for you. Tazz, admire championship prizes. This belt was the first you ever took home around 2 sweeps ago, but you've won many more since then. You're a real fort pleaser. Most of your belts, outside of those won for various key match grades and scramble royales, are for high performance. As the title holder, you were allowed to take your victim's practically unrecognizable remains back for display purposes. You have a friend who can do taxidermy reasonably well, but you're not really a big fan of asking for help, so you reconstructed and solidified his corpse with concrete. You like to think you did a pretty good job. Well, it appears that you have a problem now. Tazz, investigate Sri. What? Oh. Oh, you motherfucker. Your custodian really has the whole scale of your relationship backwards. She believes that she's semi-aquatic queen of your hive, yourself, and more than likely the world. Everything is her property, including the match pick you've been keeping stowed away in the fort. You can't help but feel a little sorry that he wound up down there. He looks a lot better than what would have happened if you actually got around to getting your hands on him, but it's for the best that his carcass didn't land into the black depths. The lineage of those who normally take care of the world's oceans were all cut down a long time ago by a self-proclaimed tyrant who wanted to stand as the one and only of his stature. And now all measures of the sea hierarchy only approximate about 0.1% of the entire world's population. That figure is already dwindling as it is due to the general environmental standards. The water has only been degrading since that time, the Renaissance. All of the pollution, from normal garbage to hazardous items like toxic waste and chemical mixtures, has been dumped into the ocean as if it's the general dross receptacle. You have to force your Lucis to stay away from its natural habitat, doing absolutely anything to keep its mind away from the call of the wild. As such, it's become horribly stir-crazy. The wildlife has taken a great toll on the oceans as well. Although the prolonged exposure has turned what used to be mostly harmless sea creatures into cannibalistic carnivores that feast off the flesh of their own kind and mutate into unholy beasts with extra eyes and wiggling appendages the likes of which can't even be found in the most exploitative of average dwellings. That stands for part of the reason people like you even exist. With the overpopulation of lowbloods running amok, somebody has to thin the numbers out, even if it isn't for a truly decent purpose. Reasons like those are why you can't bring yourself to care about this as much as you want to. Reasons like those are why you won't ever apologize for something worth doing. Arc check. Recover. It happened again. Arc check. Inspect drawing. It appears that we have quite a bit of catching up to do. Moving this along requires cooperation from both ends, so please bear with gaps until they're completely filled. Ah, this is the spot where we need to be. Unlike some others, it appears that this girl has been patiently waiting for her time to come, doing no wrong and no harm as per usual. The innocent and tranquil look is pretty much gone at this point, but this soothing atmosphere is starting to really take the cryptic sequencing and latent sorrow down a notch. Who is she? Enter name. Your name is Albion Shukra. You are the 12th and final in a long line of extraterrestrial prophets, the true name of these multiversal deities only given the vague term of star children. Your overall purpose in life is to teach others about coming together, not only with others but also with themselves, in order to build up thoughts of overall optimism and exuberance rather than the constant feelings of fear and self-doubt that dwell inside every living creature. Each star child has a specific gift relating to the truth of their world. However, as the last in the line, you have none, and instead are given the opportunity to bear all previous gifts to become a being of complete conciliation, the pure oneself. You communicate with your guardian, who is made up of the souls of those star children who came before you, through meditation, in order to prepare for the point when you are to merge as a singular being. The time of this juncture is specifically set for the point in which your planet is broken beyond repair, and you know that time has always been tonight. Aside from your obligations, you have a variety of more casual interests. You enjoy finding constellations and forming pictures with the night sky as your mental canvas, each and every sectioned menagerie of bright gas and light positioning in the firmament to tell you a story. You then take the time to pen these tales in ancient pretext as records of legend in an attempt to revive the time-lost tradition of planetary folklore. You have a vested interest in collecting colorful and fragrant incenses, which emit calming aromas that help you keep your body chemistry at a balance so that you are in total control of your spirit power, a complete manifestation of emotion, which you monitor and use through your mood ring, though the need of doing such rarely occurs as you are an extreme pacifist, with absolutely no tolerance in letting unneeded confrontation stand. Most of your other free time is spent solving problems and being the resident shoulder to cry on amongst your other friends, though most specifically your Moirail and part-time auspicitus, Tazz. Your troll tag is demiurge quantified, and you speak in a manner that really shines. What will you do? Albion, check mood ring. You are completely green and stable. Hooray! You already knew this because your ring is always completely green and stable, as that is your will. But you like to treat each time you see it like a little mini achievement anyways. It really makes the consistency feel earned rather than like a nightly chore for your state of mind. Because of the uniform nature that is your disposition, you never catch yourself with more than a glimpse of the other moods present, with a few exceptions. Hope, blue, compassion, purple, and pity, pink, are ones you can allow for prolonged periods. Fear, yellow, greed, orange, and especially rage, red, are expressly forbidden, not by star children more than by yourself. It is said that when you merge with your Lucis, your mood ring will turn a ghostly white, representing the life you will now lead. If your ring were to turn black, though, it would mean you've lost any power you once had. You would feel blank. You won't let that happen. Albion. Read table scroll. You're taking the time to properly translate it to current text first, which has been taking longer than you expected. Your language as of now is structured very differently than that of anything before the Renaissance, in both phrase and symbol. You've been staying away from digging deep into this scroll until you've gotten that done. You like to be surprised when you read Tales of the Past. You really have your priorities straight. Though from what you've seen just at this quick glance, it seems to talk about some sort of curse through blood. Doing this task was for once not for your personal enjoyment, but at the request of your matesprit, who you have been slowly teaching planetary customs as they are rather behind. Your ring begins to turn pink. You slap it. It goes back to green. Albion. Admire slime pit. This isn't your typical Recuperacoon, and is instead called a Recuperacoon, more used for pure relaxation. Your species is very bad at naming new things. Meditation takes a lot of focus and poise. Going in here is a good way to take the tension out of your system. You use glop enhancers to make each experience slightly different, though you've been set on miraculous view lately. The colors really permeate, in both size and smell. Albion. Receive message from Tazz. Right on schedule. You could feel the hot passions of her overblown conundrums coming from miles away. However, you'll need your astral projector in order to use Scorp and speak with her, a device which has been placed in your Spirograph modus. Albion. Open Spirograph modus. Your modus is currently rigged to an 11-card system on a 10-point graph. The astral projector holds a spot in the middle, which will always be a white card. It is also surrounded by 5 currently inaccessible black cards and 5 accessible green cards. The center card can be accessed and have something new put in it at any time. Doing either of these actions will alter the arrangement of the spirograph. Certain, usually complex configurations will have some cards more accessible and others more inaccessible. If the center card is removed, depending on the configuration, another specific card will be slotted into the center. Vice versa for if a card is added to the center slot. If a card is removed from a position that isn't the center, the configuration will change, but the center card will not. However, more simple alterations will allow sets of cards to be moved around without changing the graph, such as switching certain levels with each other. Removing any currently accessible card or adding an extra card will change and add an extra point to the spirograph. It shifts depending on how many cards are in the deck. Albion. Retrieve astral projector. Luckily, you've rigged your modus with some of your less appealing sounding candles to have your item just where you need it. The spirograph now allocates one of your translated scrolls into the center card, allowing your potent glop enhancers, spare incense, sextant, and grubby juice-scented candle around it as the in-access cards. Not that you'll be needing them anytime soon. Aren't things much better when you plan ahead? Albion. Use astral projector. You place the astral projector in front of you using your spirit power in order to activate it. You will now have electronic access in the cell. Albion. Meditate. tranquility is an asset harshly underutilized in the minds of others. That is why yours acts as a personal safe haven. Albion, activate Scorp. Your Scorp theme is Nebulaic Nirvana, the central hub of your applications being an age-old interpretation regarding the creation myth of a world lacking turmoil. The pieces always seem to speak to you on a fundamental level, as if it's the being you should properly become in time. Albion, answer Tazz. Pernicious Overkill began trolling Demiurge Quantified.
Hey, Albion. So I just got a shitty bunch of messages from UK. He mentioned wanting me to play some sort of game with him, although knowing how he is, that could mean a wide variety of things that I am most likely 0% interested in. Like, it's probably just some sort of elaborate piffling scheme to play a useless and antagonizing trick on me, to get on my nerves or something. Already gets me mad just wondering about it. Actually, no. I don't really fucking care. Especially since he told me in order to do whatever it is he's planning, I gotta work with ArcCheck. Which, isn't gonna happen. I had a few moments with my thoughts, and also thought I'd come mention it to you. It's probably a bit of a stretch, but I was wondering if maybe you heard something about it too, and could offer a little clearer insight on what the actual shit he's talking about. Or not, and I can just complain.
Actually, I have an entire arrangement of varying notes and plans, dating back epochs that have led us to this very moment. I was waiting for you to message me so I could go explain them in large amounts of detail.
What? Really?
No.
Fuck you.
I'm not sure what your expectation was, but really it shouldn't be me having all the answers. At least not all of the time. Well, actually, I guess you technically weren't expecting that. But really, the expectations of the matter aren't the exact matter at hand, right?
Well, no, I hadn't actually been expecting you to know, but then you raised my hopes, and then you lied to me. And now I'm just confused. Do you know something, or don't you?
I know approximately a few things. Like most of us, I'm not really sure what exactly he is referring to. But I do know that this is the night. The night in which our planet begins to crumble. And I will have to save you, and everybody else.
Now you're also just being vague and kind of foreboding. I don't really appreciate that much right now.
Tazz, did you forget that we have big plans today? Plans of what my life, and all others, have been setting up to?
Yes, because I can comprehend viciously wrong knowledge sentiments.
Speaking of sentiments, maybe this would be the best time to bring this up. Maybe you should talk to him?
Oh, no. Albion, no. Don't make me.
I won't make you do anything. I will tell you that this is a wise choice, and it might make you both feel just a little better about each other. You've spent so much time trying to grab his attention, but never any time attempting to really speak to him. I don't have much I can say, not regarding the actual topic. I know what I must do right now, and later. I have a meeting that will be putting us all in motion towards the end. Do what you feel is best, or rather, please take a moment to do what I would do.
And a little while later, the bard and the sylph do indeed speak again. It goes as well as it can.
Fucking, why is this even important? Not a single person has spewed forth anything coherent at me yet today, and it's really blowing me up. I don't have the faintest idea what you're referring to, other than the fact that I apparently need to participate. Some clear instructions would be really vital if anything is going to happen on my end. If you can just do that much for me, and if I think it's a damn reasonable explanation, I'll think about it. But I want to know why.
Really, there is only one ideal that needs to be made clear. Tonight, the world as we know it will end. And after completing my merger, I will salvage you, our friends, and what little of our species remains, with my newfound quiddity. Really, I should probably already be saying goodbye, because soon enough, I won't be myself anymore.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, you gave me an explanation, which is all I really asked for, I guess. I still don't feel like I'm getting any of it, nor do I believe it. But you gave me more of an answer than anything else I've gotten so far.
The passiveness you're showing me is starting to concern me. I need this to be taken seriously. It's quite literally life or death. And for once, I need your assistance and compliance. It can't be so lukewarm.
I don't know how you expected me to react to something like that. Trying to tell me out of nowhere that the world is about to fall apart and you're disappearing somehow. That's a pretty exorbitant load to drop on me and then expect me to play along. Not to mention I still don't even fucking understand it. You know I don't even believe in that shit. I was trying my absolute hardest to kind of not completely explode on you, but what you're saying is fucking ridiculous. I'm not going to abandon you if something is actually happening. But what help from me do you really need? You pretty much never need my help, at least not with anything so major. You're always so on top of everything. You're so perfect. In a way, it's a special kind of terrifying. I'm not happy at all with what you're trying to tell me, and I'm not going to just resign and accept it. What would you even want me to do?
I want you to believe me, and I want you to listen to what I have to say. But there isn't any more time. They won't wait for us, so I need to leave you. But I promise, you'll see me again, sooner than you think, even if it isn't truly me. Alavida.
Demiurge Quantified gave up trolling Pernicious Overkill.
I know you're there. Are you ready to join me, my guardian?
There has been a divine intervention, our child.
I could sense the tension in your writhing. Please explain.
We now know the truth of our form and the path of your belonging. This coil we are aligned in, it does not lead to Savior. Your soul and this world are not meant for reincarnation. They, as well as we, are meant to disappear.
Albion, think of something else. You think of something else. Some of the people you love and trust with every beat of your now pounding color arc. One of these people is this scruffy young man, who is next in our first line of points to cross. His eyes are slit, his thoughts are as down towards the dirt as his feet. His mouth is shut and his ears are open. Not that he could hear these musings right now, even if he wanted to. But he, like all the relevant others, will know the rattle of my voice sooner rather than later. Who is he, though? Let's become him and find out, even if I'm already well aware.